Welcome everyone, this is Andres Restart, and today I would like to talk about that Nintendo Direct partner showcase that aired earlier this morning and how I came away from it. And how I came from it was really quite positive. I am arguing that this is the best partner showcase we've ever gotten. And let me make myself clear here, I'm not saying it's the best Nintendo Direct we've ever gotten, I'm simply speaking on the partner showcases, the style of Nintendo Direct that only really shows third-party offerings. I think this may have been the best one. I think this, being the first partner showcase that doesn't have the mini moniker, fits its brand. I think it did bring to the table a more significant offering than prior showcases, and so I want to talk about that, give my overall grade on this presentation, but also mention a few things that I found interesting about this Direct that could have some exciting implications for other announcements in the future. But before we go further, let me point out that we are still aiming to reach 50,000 subscribers by the time Nintendo Switch 2 comes out, whenever that does happen. But in the meanwhile, we are shooting for 40k. We're a bit closer to that one, it's more of a shorter term goal, and so I've been thinking about what we should do once the goal is achieved. I've been asking for recommendations for what we can do. I've been thinking about some sort of crazy fun live stream, like maybe a challenge mode of Tears of the Kingdom or 100% run of Prime Remastered. But let me know what you think we should do. And if you do enjoy my content, please subscribe and hit the notification bell, and enjoy the ride as we talk about Nintendo every day. So I will say, while I'm definitely very positive on this partner showcase, I do have some minor issues. And it's actually not with the partner showcase itself, but announcements that happened in the Japanese version of the partner showcase. If you take a look at that partner showcase, it's a little different than the one we got here in the West. It's a few minutes longer, and there's quite a few games that are different there, but there were three that stood out to me. There's this one guitar game that has its own, actual peripheral, and it seems like an advanced guitar game, and so I'm just kind of curious, why wouldn't they bring that over here? It's very interesting, but definitely I'm sure it's kind of only filling a smaller niche, so I can kind of understand that one. But there's also this really cool looking game called Reynatus that I'm just thinking, man, they should bring this over here. It looks amazing. It would be one of the more exciting games to come to Switch this year if they were to do it. So it's a bit of a head scratcher, but maybe we'll see it later down the road. But the big one that everyone's talking about is Mother 3. Mother 3 has been announced for Nintendo Switch Online, but only for Japan. And so what gives? What's going on here? Are we not going to get Mother 3? I'm not super certain, but I think the reason why we saw it in Japan's partner showcase and not the others is because in Japan, well, the game was localized for that version. The issue has been localizing it for everywhere else. And so that's probably why we didn't see it in the partner showcase. So fingers crossed we do see a localized version of Mother 3 in the future, but it was not here, and definitely has me wondering, hey, what gives? That could have been in this one if they bothered to localize the game. That all said, what we actually got with this partner showcase here in the West, I think is pretty special, and in some ways is arguably better than what the Japanese version had to offer. And so I'll just address this part first since it's relevant. While Mother 3 may have been the NSO offering in the Japanese partner showcase, what we got in this one are 5 different rare games, including Killer Instinct. When I heard the Killer Instinct music, I was floored. I was so excited. We are getting a whole bunch of rare games. This is going to make 8 rare games on Nintendo Switch Online last I checked. There might even be more, but there's a whole bunch coming, and this is very exciting. This is very promising, and this suggests that this may not be the end of us seeing even more rare games in the future. Now, if you didn't know, Rare used to be a Nintendo developer. They are responsible for games like Killer Instinct, Jet Force Gemini, Banjo-Kazooie, The Conker's Bad Fur Day. They even developed Diddy Kong Racing and Donkey Kong 64 and the original Donkey Kong Country trilogy, so they were a big deal in the 90s, but Microsoft bought them going into the 2000s, and so seeing a whole bunch of rare games coming over to NSO, a plethora of them all in one shot, I think that bodes really well, and it speaks volumes of Nintendo's relationship with Microsoft. Because yes, we got these rare games that are owned by Microsoft on NSO, but beyond that, they did show off 2 other Xbox games, Pentiment and Grounded. They opened up with Grounded, and for Nintendo Switch, it's a pretty ambitious offering, I would argue. And so that's pretty exciting. Now, there is talk of how Sea of Thieves and Hi-Fi Rush have been confirmed for PS5, and those other games are supposed to be coming to PS5 as well, and they haven't been announced for Switch yet, and so people are thinking that Sea of Thieves and Hi-Fi Rush, which arguably are more exciting to more people, I would agree, those are the ones I wanted to see, are not coming to Switch. I think they probably still are coming to Switch, at least Hi-Fi Rush. We've heard the ratings in Australia, we've seen the Datamine t-shirt designs. I think the implication is that Hi-Fi Rush is coming, and also with Sea of Thieves, it's slated for the end of April, and there is supposedly a Nintendo Direct happening this April. And so maybe there we see confirmation of Sea of Thieves coming to Nintendo Switch, and maybe also Hi-Fi Rush as well. So I think the jury's still out on those, but the fact that we've gotten multiple Xbox games for Switch and all these Rare games as well, it says a lot in my opinion. But then going beyond that, me being a 90s kid, yes, I appreciate all the Rare stuff, but also I really appreciated the plethora of seemingly high quality 3D platformers. We got the Shadow Drop for Penny's Big Breakaway, which is only $30 I might add you, so it's a heck of a deal. It's made by Sonic Mania team, a fantastic developer. It looks really awesome. I'm going to be playing it later today. It seems pretty darn fun. And so that alone is exciting, but there's more. We are seeing a new installment in the Super Monkey Ball series. Another Monkey Ball game is on the way. It's a new game with new modes and all, and it looks pretty fantastic. This to me is pretty much an instant buy. What's not an instant buy but definitely has me intrigued is this remake of Epic Mickey. Epic Mickey is another 3D platformer from the Wii era that was considered to be a high quality 3D platformer for the day, and so I'm very curious on this remake. It definitely looks substantially better. It's clearly being remade, not just remastered. And if they are able to modernize this appropriately with some solid quality of life updates, this could be another real banger. Going beyond that, we saw other exciting announcements like Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, which is an enhanced version of Shin Megami Tensei 5, a big third-party game for Switch that has new content, new story, enhancements there, so that's a big deal. But we also got to see Unicorn Overlord, which is basically like an HD 2D version of a Fire Emblem game, which is pretty amazing, I would say. A exclusive sequel to World of Goo, a pretty fantastic indie game back in the day. Endless Magnolia looks like a fantastic Castlevania style kind of game, has a really interesting art style. It looks to have a pretty cool story as well, and so I'm very much intrigued by this one. But something I didn't see coming that has me really excited is this Souls-like adventure, Another Crab's Treasure. They described it as a Souls-like game, you know, like Dark Souls, Bloodborne. That's how they're sort of describing this. Except it's underwater, and you play as a crab fighting other crab monsters, and it looks pretty darn cool. So I'm very much interested in this one as well. But the big closer is actually another Nintendo game, because Nintendo said publishing partners and developing partners would be in this presentation. A developing partner is a developer that's not owned by Nintendo, but is developing a game for Nintendo because they are publishing it. And so we are seeing the return of a published Nintendo IP from the Wii era, Endless Ocean. This is the big closer. And I was thinking, based off the rumors, we might get like a remaster collection, which would have been pretty cool, but this is even better. This is a new installment in the Endless Ocean series, Endless Ocean Luminous. It's a visually pleasing game on the Nintendo Switch where you explore underwater, going through ruins, looking for treasure, seeking out beautiful, rare, aquatic marine life, including things that are either prehistoric or just non-existent in real life, fictional, beautiful, mythical creatures. And to me, that has me extremely excited. But what really surprised me is that they also announced that this game is going to have a 30-player online mode, so you can play with 29 other people online, scuba diving together, exploring the depths of this incredible magical ocean. That's pretty darn exciting, and it's coming out this May, and only for $50 USD. That's awesome. This is a Nintendo game, guys. This is a return of an IP from the Wii era. It looks amazing. It's coming at a discounted price, It has an ambitious online mode, and so us Nintendo fans, I don't think we should be sleeping on this game, and I don't think we should be sleeping on this Direct. I think there's a lot here that appeals to the core Nintendo fan base. If you're a big fan of 3D platformers, if you're a big fan of action adventures, if you're a big fan of RPGs, this partner showcase has things to offer that are pretty exciting. I didn't mention everything, just the things that stuck out to me the most. There is more. And so I'm excited about this presentation. I think they did it pretty well. I didn't love everything in the partner showcase, but they never really lingered too much. It was well paced, it kept going, and it didn't drag. And so I think this partner showcase was pretty much as good as it reasonably can be. And so because of that, I'm here trying to decide, is this a B Direct or is this an A Direct? And when I think about it, because this is a partner showcase, as a partner showcase, not a general Nintendo Direct that would have bigger general Nintendo games like Zelda, Mario, and things of that nature, because it's not something like that, and this is something that's meant to showcase third-party partners, I think it's an A. I think it deserves that. I think they maximized what could be brought to the table with a partner showcase. Have there been partner showcases in the past that have had pretty exciting announcements that maybe would stand above what we saw here? You can argue that. Like when we saw the announcement of Monster Hunter Rise in the September partner showcase from 2020, for sure. But that was just one big announcement and a smaller presentation. This partner showcase has a bevy of high quality titles that I think are pretty ambitious efforts for the Nintendo Switch. They show that third parties are bringing it to the system even now, this late into the life cycle, and they have me excited. There's a lot of variety here. And so I'm going to say that this is indeed the best partner showcase ever, and I think it is deserving of the A grade. I know not everyone agrees. Some people look at these games and for whatever reason, they don't find them interesting. But for me, I tried to go into this with an open mind, open to trying out new experiences, new IP, and there are several that I'm going to be giving a try, like Another Crab's Treasure, or Endless Magnolia, or for me, it'll be my first time playing the Endless Ocean series, a published Nintendo title that will be coming out this May. And so I'm pretty darn excited. And so I'm thinking that yes, Nintendo has positioned themselves relatively well. I think there's likely going to be another Nintendo Direct not too long from now, possibly March, but rumors are suggesting April. And I think that'll be fine. I'm going to assume that's going to be an actual Nintendo Direct with Nintendo first-party games in there. Maybe we see something like Metroid Prime 4 finally, maybe the Zelda remasters of Twilight Princess and Wind Waker are finally announced there. Those things I think are on the horizon, but in the meanwhile, everything we have here I think is pretty darn exciting. But let me know what you all think in the comments below. This is Andres Restart, thank you so much for listening and watching, and I'll see you all really soon. Take care. Bye.